Morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to our plate semi-final for today. My name is Danny Traylor. I'll be on the comms for this match between St Andrews University and Dundee Volleyball Club. St Andrews are on your left-hand side and Dundee are on your right-hand side. St Andrews having a long weekend so far, having played in our Triple S final yesterday where they unfortunately lost 3-1 to Edinburgh University. So having a bounce back today to play against Dundee in this plate match. We have Dundee serving, we have Clarkson serving for Dundee. Dundee coached by John Scrimmager, head of our coaches commission and one of the junior national team programs, under 20s program. And St Andrews are coached by Jack McKeown. This match is being refereed by Albert Jaster and Val Grizenkoff. Calling a rotation fault there. Dundee taking control of this game, going 4-0 up to start with. Maluki with a big swing high off the hands, but it's defended by St Andrews. A free ball punched over and for the kill. We've got many games going on this weekend. This is the first of 4 matches that are going on today. After this we have the men's plate between Nuvok and Glasgow Mets 2. After that match we have the women's final, which is City of Edinburgh versus Edinburgh Jets. And then our final match of the day is City of Glasgow Regazi versus City of Edinburgh. We've got Maluki back to serve. Clips the tape and that beats the passer, number 3, Holton Moravak, who's not able to get underneath that ball. Very much an international affair for the St Andrews team. No Scottish players in their lineup. Whereas the Dundee squad is very much a mix of Scottish athletes and international students. Big swing by Driscoll. But there's a huge block by St Andrews to get the point. We've got Pitt back to serve. Float serve going. And usually a serve under the net means beers for the team at the end of the day. Let's see if she follows through with that one. Bednarek serving for Dundee. Well dealt with by the libero. Goes outside to number 8. McAndrews swings cross court. Well handled by Dundee, and Driscoll, number 6, with a high hard swing off the block for the kill. And that's a timeout taken by St Andrews. Coach McKeown having a conversation with his team, trying to get them back in the rhythm after a tough usually quite a challenge to play the night before and then play the next day. Players are going to be tired. They played 4 sets yesterday in a tough game. Both teams back on the court. Bednarek still serving. Looks like St Andrews have got 2 liberos and they're implementing a defensive libero and a passing libero. So we have number 7, or number 1, Beckley, on at the moment. Another kill from Driscoll. Dundee just finished, they finished second in the Division 1 this year, and we're in a playoff against a team that finished second bottom, so Edinburgh Jets 2 finished second bottom of the Premier League. So those two teams played off last weekend, with Dundee coming out 3-0 winners, so we'll see them in the Premier League next year alongside Nuvok women's team, who were also promoted, finishing first. St Andrews do not play in the Scottish League, they only play in the Student League. So we don't see them very often, but they usually compete pretty well in the student leagues. Net fault called by referee Albert Jaster on number 4, Foley, the setter. Just clipping the net there as she goes to set the ball. Pass was a little bit tight. Big swing out of the back row by number 8 McAndrews, but that ball goes just long. Quite an experienced team, Dundee, with players that have been around the Scottish game for quite a few years. Coach John Scrimmager is very experienced as well. The team, it's a tough serve and it's not dealt with by St Andrews. They struggle to get that back. I think they're feeling a bit of pressure today. Big swing by number 3, Holton Moravik. She had a strong game yesterday in the student game, but wasn't able to do enough to carry her team through the match. Number 11, Anderson serving. Twins on this team, as you can tell, number 10 and number 11. Free ball given away by Dundee, goes out to Maluki with a big swing down the line, but it's well dealt with by number 10 Anderson, but she just pushed that back over Clarkson with a clever reach, waiting the ball cross onto her side before she tips the ball back onto the St Andrews side for the kill. Substitution being called by Dundee, number 5. Coming in for number 10, Shand. Number 5, Stopwaska. Big swing by Holton Moravik, just beating the block. Block's not strong enough and pushed over the net. Foley to serve for clever tip. Driscoll with a nice controlled dig, giving Clarkson some time. Strong set behind for Holton Moravik to crush that ball down the line between 6 and 5. She moves to the back row, so let's see what she can do from the service line after that big swing. Really tough deep float serve, pulls the setter out of the pocket. Well picked up by Mackenzie. Maluki with a big swing, but it's blocked and controlled. Maluki goes outside to Mackenzie, gives away a free ball. Back to Maluki, who swings down the line for the kill. Maluki's first year with the team, Dundee, been playing with Aberdeen before up until now. Clarkson with a controlled dig, takes the setter out though, so let's stop Waska with a set to Mackenzie, and it's not defendable by St Andrews. Dundee well in control of this set. Sure they'll be hoping to keep it going just now. Maluki with a controlled dig. Clarkson setting out to Driscoll, who cross-court cut. Picked up though. Foley going deep cross-court, and that ball is right on the line. Clarkson and Driscoll stopped by the block. Driscoll takes the set out to Mackenzie. Roll shot. Dug by St Andrews, but they put it straight back over, and ball's back to Mackenzie. Goes high off the block. Lovely little bit of scramble defence by Dundee. Free ball given away, but St Andrews go pipe to hold to Moravik, who throws the ball to one. Takes the setter out. Driscoll off the top of the tape. Another scramble defence by St Andrews. Another free ball given away. Bind to Mackenzie again, goes high off hands. Great dig by number 15 Pitt. That middle playing some defence in position 5. Clarkson to Driscoll, off the hands, another dig by Pitt. Middle's favourite time in the game when they're getting to play defence in 5. Mackenzie with a clever cut shot for the kill. And that's a timeout taken by St Andrews. Got lots of games going on today if you fancy coming along to check it out. Make sure you come and get your tickets. We'll be here all day and all day tomorrow, so if you fancy coming along, scan the QR code, buy your tickets before you get here. Make it be a little bit easier. You can scan in the ticket list, or we don't take any money on the door, so you'll have to buy your tickets either on the door in the QR code, but you'll have to purchase your tickets online. Substitution made there, number 5 coming off, and on comes number 6, number 10 Shand coming on, and that was a double there by Dundee. Good timeout from coach Jack McCune to get the team's point. Anderson, one of the twins, back to serve with Maluki with a great pass, leaving Clarkson in the pocket. Clarkson goes to Driscoll, swings high, looks for hands, does not find the hands, and that ball goes long. Back to McKenzie, goes high down the line for the kill. Say this Dundee team have played in the plate and cup competitions for the past few years, so they know what to do here. Big swing by Foley, going off the hands of Clarkson for the kill. And with that, she goes back row to serve. 6-point lead for Dundee. You would expect them to finish this set out. Timeout taken by Dundee. And that serve is long. Good timeout for Coach John. He's celebrating that point. Coach's favourite time, winning the point straight after the timeout. Foley with the pipe, but that's well dealt with by Bednarek. And Maluki with a big swing, but well picked up by St Andrews. Have to give away a free ball. We've got Shand in the middle. And that's a kill from number 11, Anderson, through the middle. And we're getting a substitution here. Number 6. Number 6, Scheidel, subbing in for number 15. Big swing by Maluki again. Very strong hitter on the outside. Hits with a lot of power. Alton Moravec, another strong swing. Looks like it'll be a battle between. Will she be able to carry the team through? Dundee have got a little bit more of a balanced offence with Maluki, Driscoll and McKenzie being 3 strong scoring options. Andrew's doing a good job of that block. And that swing down the line is out. Foley, the setter, serving for St Andrews still. Short serve, Driscoll passes it perfectly for Clarkson in the pocket, who finds Bednarek. That's not a kill. Cross court swing, but it's picked up by Dundee. Great diving defence by number 2, Hargrove, but then a hit and error from St Andrews. You all right? Clever tip. Maluki turns around to pick that one up. Holton Moravik back to serve. And that one's into the net. Probably could have done with that one to give their team a little bit of rhythm. 3 points away from the end of this first set for Dundee, with strong server Maluki at the baseline. Foley goes deep, but Maluki picks it up. Mackenzie goes for a big swing cross court, and it clips the top of the tape, stays on the Dundee side with no touch off the block. Clarkson goes behind to Mackenzie, tries to make up for a previous mistake. But it's dealt with by again back to Mackenzie and stopped again. St Andrews going on a little bit of a run here. We might see a timeout coming from Dundee now. Driscoll straight at the defender in 6. And she swings through the pipe for the kill. Clips the tape and stops just short of number 10, Shand. Nice little 3-point run here by St Andrews, and Coach Scrimmager takes a timeout. Gives team a little bit of time to refocus, get themselves back into the game. Like we say, we've got matches going on all day today. If you want to come along, buy your tickets. As we say, we've got another plate game after this, which has got Edinburgh side Nuvok versus Glasgow Mets. You might see me on court for that match, playing on the Nuvok side. We also then have City of Edinburgh women taking on Edinburgh Jets in a rematch of last week's Final Four, which went to 5, with Jets coming out victorious. And then we have another rematch of the men's Final Four, where we have City of Glasgow Ragazi taking on City of Edinburgh. And that went to 4, so tough game with Ragazi winning that one. So some great volleyball going to be on show today. So get yourself along to the Pleasance to check it out, or keep watching along on the stream, wherever you are. Great pick up by the middle. Great pick up there by Clarkson off the tape. Controlled by St Andrews, and they go behind to the right side, who swings off the block for the kill. A little bit of technical difficulties with the scoreboard here. Second referee scorepad going off. And point to Dundee. Getting out of that little rut. Short serve. And that's not dealt with by St Andrews. Don't think they saw that one dropping that short. Substitution being made for Dundee. We have number 11, Ivers, coming in for number 2, Bednarik. And that clips the tape, and that's an ace. What a way to enter the game. And that brings up the first set for Dundee. And we are back in the second set. St Andrews trying to build on that momentum they finished the first set with, giving themselves a chance to get back into the game. Sorry folks, I've left the banner on the front of the screen there. Apologies. A little bit of a change from the Dundee side with Ivers in setting with Clarkson on the bench. Maluki back to serve for Dundee. And that serve is long. Looks like St Andrews staying the same way that they finished the first. Simple little cross-court volley from Driscoll for the kill. Great swing from Holton Moravec out of the pipe. Driscoll with another volley, nearly gets a kill. But number 6, Scheidel with the trying to attack that ball. Putting that ball in the net. Mackenzie back to serve. Serve not dealt with by Foley. Good chase down by number 10 Anderson, but that is an ace for Dundee. Mackenzie serving. Holton Moravec with a good pass, giving Foley time to get underneath that one. The number 8, McAndrews, puts that ball into the net. Well picked up by Driscoll from the tip. Set to Mackenzie, not dealt with. Ivers back out to Driscoll and a huge cross-court swing for the kill. Block drifted a little wide and left of that open swing there. Timeout called by St Andrews. Out with that timeout. 7-4 Dundee are up. Mackenzie still at the service line. Foley goes to the middle and that results in a kill from Anderson. Good timeout for Jack McKeown. And then Ivers goes back to the middle with Shand for the kill. Nice dig by Mackenzie from the middle hit. Maluki crushes it cross court, but it's a great pick up by the libero, Hargrove. Mackenzie off the top of the tape. Free ball given away by St Andrews. Puts Dundee under a little bit of pressure. St Andrews trying to control the ball. Free ball given away by them. Mackenzie pops up for Ivers, who sets out to Maluki, who swings off the top. And it's dug straight back over by St Andrews. Back to Maluki again. That's a great swing by Maluki. Just inside the block, in between 6 and 5. Great swing. To Moravik with a good pass, and that's number 11 Anderson. I wonder if this seems like a little bit of a tactical change. St Andrews have used the middle the last 3 times they've had the chance. Maybe at the last time out that was something Jack McKeown, coach for St Andrews, suggested. Another swing high off the hands from Maluki. And Shan just misses wide. And Anderson just misses long. Do we go in threes and Ivor puts this one in the net? That would be the third. One wide, one long, one in the net. Well, I'm glad I'm wrong. Holton Moravik has to tip that one over. Ivers goes back to Maluki. Block is doing a good job for St Andrews to slow her down. There we go, there's one in the net. That was a couple of 1 point after I'd said, but pretty close to 3 in a row. We also see number 14 Burns coming in, libero in for Dundee. First time we've seen her in this match. Well slowed down by Driscoll and has allowed Maluki to get a dig off hold to Moravik. Clever watch there by number 2, Bednarek. Put that ball down on the St Andrews side. Cross court picked up by Ivers. Free ball given away by Dundee. Foley goes back to Holton Moravik, but too tight. Not able to get the kill. And timeout taken by St Andrews. 14-8. Dundee are ahead. And St Andrews using that timeout effectively, getting a nice couple of point run here. So that strong server, Holton Moravchik, back at the line, really giving them a huge advantage from the service line. Deep, flat float. Dundee struggling to deal with it. Miscommunication there between Ivers and Driscoll. And an ace. Another tough serve. She's really hits that flat and low across the top of the tape. Comes onto the passers very fast from Dundee and they're not able to deal with it. Coach Scribbager taking a timeout for Dundee. St Andrews on a great run here. Difference it makes when a team is able to a little bit of miscommunication here between the first and the second referee. Albert Jast and Val Grizenkopf not quite on the same page there. Substitution being made for Dundee. Driscoll coming off. Bednarek, no, sorry. Number 5, Stopwaska, coming on for Dundee. A little bit of a change on the outside. Let's see if this can break the run of Holton Moravik. Free ball given away by Dundee. So here we go, goes behind to Mackenzie. Roll shot for the kill. And that's one way to get out of a little run there. St Andrews really brought themselves right back into that game. Bednarek serves with a pick up by number 1, Beckley. Great dig by Maluki. Stopwaska is stopped by the net. Maluki with a solid pass for Ivers, and it's a great swing by Sham, but it's picked up by Scheidel, the middle. And then that's a kill off Bednarek. Really strong run here by St Andrews to get themselves back in the game. That's the game all nearly tied up, 16-15, considering they were up by 6 points earlier on. That is long. 17-15. Mackenzie. And that is a rotation fault called on Val Grizenkopf, making the call that she is off the court there. Point for Dundee. Blocked by Dundee. Free ball given away by St Andrews. Picked up by Mackenzie. Dundee in control of this game just now with Mackenzie serving. Big swing by Moravic, but it's picked up by Mackenzie, and then it goes out to Stopwaska for the kill. Substitution being made. Number 12, Weller, coming in for McAndrews. Trying to break Dundee's run. Mackenzie still serving from the baseline. Deep float serve. Moravic just pops bops. Number 1, Beckley steps in. Tough introduction for number 12, Weller. She miscontacts that ball. And that just clips the tape. Anderson back to the service line. Keynes with a swing out of the back row. Foley with the second ball attack, but it's picked up by Bednarik. Stopwaska. And that's a swing and a kill for Dundee. Stopwaska back to serve. Dundee just running away with it here at the end of this set. Really take control. Big block by Dundee. High off the hands from Maluki. Number 12, Weller with a cross-court swing, which is wide. Number 9 coming on for number 10, Anderson. So number 10, Anderson going out. Number 9, Lyons coming in. Have used both these timeouts, now trying to make some subs to make some changes. Nice pick up by Mackenzie, but the rest of the team can't get that ball. Another substitution, so Stopwaska coming out and Driscoll coming back in. Weller's back to the service line for the first time this match, having just come on. Do with a little serve and run here. Gets St Andrews back into the game. And that's unfortunate. And that swing is long, and that is the second set. So Dundee taking the lead. 2-0. So you got, if you're interested in a little bit of 4v4 volleyball, we have the Spring Festival coming up, which will be 4v4 mixed in Dundee University on the 9th of May. If you're interested, scan the QR code, get yourself along. All levels welcome. And we're back in this third set with St Andrews serving first, but trailing 2-0. Sure, they would like to get in a good run to start with. Fortunately not able to. Will we see this game go to extra sets, or will Dundee keep the control that they have of this match and finish it off 3-0? Like we say, you got multiple games to come on today with Our next plate match coming straight after this. Dundee versus, Nuvok versus Glasgow Mets 2. Clarkson runs middle, but that's picked up by St Andrews. They have a scrappy rally, but the ball's set high to McKenzie, swings high for blocks, picked up by Clarkson. Maluki with the tip. And that ball's down. Feel like there's a little bit of frustration going on the St Andrews side, not really able to get the game going. Picked up by Clarkson. Maluki with a deep roll shot. A little bit of miscommunication there. And that's a kill for Dundee. Dundee continuing this set on the way that they finished the last. Big swing by number 11, Anderson. Getting the kill for St Andrews, getting them out of this little rut. Strong server, Holt to Moravik, back there with a deep float serve, but it's well handled by Dundee. Pass, but that is a net fault by number 6. Or sorry, number 15 picked the middle. Foley, big swing over the block, but well picked up by Maluki. Driscoll cuts that ball straight to the libero. Big swing by Holt to Moravik. Number 2, Bednarek serving with deep float. Straight down the middle, dealt with by the libero, number 1, Beckley. Outside to Driscoll. Uses the block, that ball's kept alive. McKenzie. Roll shot off the block. Moravchik through the pipe. A nice little simple roll shot in the middle of the court for the kill. Driscoll, a great dig by Holt to Moravchik, kicking it right in high in the middle of the court. Clever little second ball attack by the setter. Number 4, Foley. St Andrews are not going away easily in this match. That serve is wide by Anderson. Substitution being made, so Anderson coming off for number 16. German, who's back row, stepping in to help with the pass. Tipped by Holton Moravchik. Driscoll can't reach that ball. A little bit of confusion about who's front row there for St Andrews. Mackenzie with a chase down. Dickett had gone over for the kill. Not quite what they expected, but I'm sure Dundee will take it. Driscoll at service line for Dundee. Deep float straight down the middle at the libero. Holton Moravik over the top of the block. Was dug straight back by Driscoll. Anderson through the middle, but another dig by Driscoll. And then Maluki swings long. So some great defence from Dundee. Anderson to serve. And that's an ace for St Andrews. That's a great swing by Maluki, but just a little bit wide. And St Andrews have the first lead of this match. A little bit of aggressive serving, really giving them control of this match. Timeout taken by Dundee, trying to just get things a little bit more organised. Another swing long from Dundee. A little bit of, you can see St Andrews taking a little bit of control now. Interesting to see how far this goes. Big swing off the block, and that stops the run. Deep serve, and that goes just long. Dundee looking at the referee to overrule that, but line judge Jerry McDonald Being trusted by first referee Albert Jasta on that call. So if we had the money to pay for a challenge system, that would be what would be used, I am sure. Maluki stepping in the pass, goes wide. Cross court swing, big pick up by the libero. A little bit of confusion whether it was in or out. Having to give away, Dundee giving away a free ball. Goes to 4, to hold to Moravik, goes off the hands of Clarkson for the kill. Short serve, Driscoll deals with it, Foley steps in, overpass, but German with a net fault. And that's long from Maluki. St Andrews firmly in control of this third set. Looks like we might be going to extras. Hold to Moravik, serving. Deep float. Well chased down by Maluki. And that's into the tape. Back to German, the lefty, the swing high off the block for the kill. Clarkson puts it out to Driscoll, and that goes high and long. Driscoll with a big swing cross court. Substitution being made by Dundee. Bednarek coming out, Stopwoska coming in. And on the St Andrews side we have number 11, Anderson, going out with number 9. Lyons coming in. Overpass gives the ball back to Dundee. And there was no touch on that block. Cut down the line from Lyons for the kill. From McAndrews, sorry. Time out for Dundee. Back after this timeout. With German back at the service line. Maluki with a tight pass. Clarkson with a set to the middle, and that swing is long. Substitution being made. Lyons coming on for Clarkson. Not Lyons, sorry. Foley? No? Trying to guess. Let's see what. Ivers, sorry. Emily Ivers. Big swing there by Holton Moravchik. Number 8, McAndrews going out. Number 12, Weller coming back in. We had Weller in the last set. See if she can get in a bit of a rhythm in this set here. Mackenzie with a simple swing down the line. Libero number 2. Hargrove not able to control that. Great swing down the line by Driscoll. Throws that into the block. That brings up set point for St Andrews. And that's an ace for Driscoll. Just needs another 9 of them. Dig by Weller, but just a little bit tight, not able to. And that's a timeout for St Andrews. Picked up by German. Goes out to hold to Moravik, who goes off the hands. Great pick up by Driscoll. Shan throws that ball over. Maluki with another tip, but that's picked up by Mackenzie. Goes out to Maluki, who swings, and that is long. And that brings up the end of the set. And St Andrews take the third set, so we are going to the fourth set. And we're back for this fourth set with Dundee 2 up, but St Andrews haven't taken that last set. Been served by Dundee Star, but St Andrews able to second ball attack that. Nice dig by Shand in the back row. Free ball by Dundee, but that still puts St Andrews under a little bit of pressure. Nicola McKenzie getting blocked there. And St Andrews playing with the energy that they finished the third set with. Keeping control of this game. Setter Foley back to serve. Driscoll with a nice pass. And Maluki gets a kill. She was a bit quiet in that last set. Dundee will want her to get firing if they're going to take this set in 4. Dundee are really being caused problems by Maluki's, by Holt and Moravic's serving, so they're fortunate to get out of that one. Bednarek back to serve for Dundee. And that serve doesn't make it over the net. McKenzie with a cross-court hit, and that's put a little bit of pressure on St Andrews. Have it try and give a free ball. And not successful there. Driscoll to serve. Brings strong hitter Maluki into the front row. Looks like we have the wrong server here, if we're looking at that sheet correctly. Number 16, German to serve. Goes back out to Maluki. It's cross court. Deep serve from German. Seem to have a little bit of a rotation fault called. Like we said, I think they missed it a couple of rotations ago, so Second referee Val Grisenkoff didn't see that, or Albert Jaster didn't see it was the wrong server. So it seems to be that they've got the rotations wrong. A little bit of discussion going about who's serving, what's going on here. I think we'll see Dundee taking a timeout here. Potentially. Coach John maybe trying to figure some things out with his team, but realistically they've just had a timeout with all that rotation error. So we'll see what happens here. Kenzie back row swings cross court. German picks it up, giving away a free ball. They go outside to Driscoll, who swings hard, cross court for the kill. So Driscoll serving for the second time. Wasn't noticed the last time. German from the back row. That's a good swing through the middle from St Andrews for the kill. McAndrews serving for St Andrews. She goes short, pulling Maluki out, and it creates an overpass and then a kill for Anderson. St Andrews are really taking the game to Dundee now. Playing some really strong volleyball. Maluki swings that down the line for the kill. Dundee really fighting to try and get out into a rhythm here. Trying to get themselves back into this set. That ball was a little bit tight, so Maluki went up straight, ball crossed the plane of the net, and she was able to get her hands on that. Even though Foley was trying to get it with the ball in the plane, she's allowed to play that one. Shan to serve. High, deep float serve. Goes outside to Moulton. Halton Moravec. Definitely putting in an MVP performance for St Andrews. Who's your MVP for Dundee? Cheeky kill through the middle from Dundee. Straight at Ivers, she's not able to dig that, she pretty much just catches it. Substitution being made. Clarkson, number 1, coming in for Ivers. Driscoll with a perfect pass to Clarkson. Clarkson goes out to Mackenzie, who goes high off the hands for the kill. Impact straight away there from Clarkson. Giving a nice stable set to Mackenzie. It's going to be a free ball from St Andrews. Driscoll cross court. Dundee slowly clawing this back here. Not going to give this up. They want to get done in 4. And another point for Dundee. Timeout taken by St Andrews. Right, goes back to hold to Moravchik. Huge pick up by Maluki. Dundee give away a free ball. They're still in this. Goes out to German. Goes off the block. Maluki. Stable pass. So Clarkson goes out to Driscoll. Straight the libero for St Andrews. Back to Holton. Picked up. Clarkson. Back to Mackenzie. Off the hands. Great rally this one. Free ball. Out to Mackenzie. Goes goal down the line, and that ball is out. All that work there. Unfortunate with that outcome. Another tough serve from Holton Moravchik. Dealt with by Shand. Great, 2 huge pickups by both outsides from both sides. And that set's a little tight. Seems like a little bit of nerves from the St Andrews side. Allowing Dundee to get back into this. Good take by the middle Shand. Driscoll. Oh no, and she stopped. Clarkson was right there. This is both teams putting on a great game of volleyball in these last couple of sets. Clarkson goes to Driscoll again. It goes high up the line, but that's picked up by Holton Moravchik. German off the hands. Mackenzie picks that up. Clarkson goes back to Driscoll, who swings off the block for the kill. serving error by Mackenzie. Some really great defense from both teams, not giving up on any rally. Really scrappy, but both teams doing a great job. Ball on court there. Tight set. Maluki going high off the hands, but that's picked up by the block at St Andrews' side. Free ball to St Andrews. Hold to Moravcik, but she's stopped by Clarkson. Free ball by St Andrews this time. Driscoll with a free ball in. Goes to Maluki. Puts it in the tape. A little bit of frustration here by Maluki. I've seen Maluki playing some much stronger games than she's played today. And there she goes with that high swing, and that's long. Timeout taken by Dundee. That serve is long. Good timeout from Coach John Scrimgeour. Substitution. Shand coming out. Stop Waska. Coming in to serve. Anderson with a deep shot for the kill. Cross court from Holton, Moravcik for the kill. Looks like we might be going to 5, ladies and gentlemen. Definitely makes our job a little bit harder if we all matches go to 5 sets. Mackenzie off the hands for the kill. Clarkson goes to Mackenzie. Deep roll, but it's picked up. German goes wide with that swing. Dundee not out of this yet. They're still chasing this. Tip, tip, tip by Holton Moravchik for the kill. Substitution with Shand coming back in for Stopwaska. McAndrews is stopped by Mackenzie. To Moravchik on the pipe, but Maluki's picked that up, giving Clarkson some time to get under it. Mackenzie rolls cross. And really squeaky bum time for both teams here. German with a swing, but it's a huge block by Dundee. Goes back to German. Goes down the line, but another great dig. German again. Stopped 3 times. Mackenzie sets it out to Driscoll, who rolls short. Tip there. Picked up by Mackenzie, and Clarkson goes to Driscoll. Rolls it just down in the middle again. And outside, McAndrews with a tip. Clarkson back up to Mackenzie, who goes cross court. Tip by Shand. And we got a timeout by St Andrews, 21-22. go with Pitt at the service line for St Andrews. Maluki with a solid pass right into the middle. Gives Clarkson. Driscoll is high off the hands. And that brings up set point for St Andrews. Looks like we are going to 5. Timeout called by Dundee. But still at the service line. St Andrews have 3 chances to put this set away and take it to 5. And they only need 1. And we're back for this 5th and deciding set. Dundee won the first 2 sets. St Andrews played some really nice volleyball to get themselves the third and the fourth. So can they complete the reverse sweep and win this, or will Dundee be able to turn it round and win this 5th set in a race to 15? Ball goes out to hold to Moravchik and picked up by Shand in the back row. Pitt with the swing, and that's wide. First blood to Dundee. Clarkson serving for Dundee still. And that ball's right on the line. What an ace. What a time to throw that one in there. Big swing by Moravchik off the block for the kill. She's not going to let this game go without her best effort. She's been scoring some excellent points so far for St Andrews. Really been carrying this team on her back. Wilkie with a solid pass. Clarkson goes out to Mackenzie for the kill. Deep serve by Moravchik. Driscoll with a swing, that's into the net. Ties up this game. Great pass by Shand. Clarkson goes to Mackenzie. Picked up by St Andrews but not under control, and the point goes Dundee's way.
Did a wee calf massage?
That was photographer Michael McConville offering me a calf massage there, since I'm trying to get warmed up for our game that's next between Nuvok and Glasgow Mets. So if you're coming to watch the game, we'll probably be starting a little bit delayed. If you're not, you'll be able to catch it on here. That's a great swing by Mackenzie. Finds a gap down the outside of the block. Onto the baseline for the kill. And an ace from Dundee. Some really great volleyball on show here from both teams. Nicola McKenzie serving to keep the lead, 6-4. Goes middle, it's a great pick up and it's great chase down by Clarkson. It's going to be a free ball. St Andrews going to go behind here to Anderson. Driscoll's block not quite over the net, so they get the kill. Driscoll with a big rip, but it's picked up by the block. Clarkson with a free ball over. Anderson through the middle uses the top of the tape to take all the speed off that ball, and it trickles down onto the Dundee side. That's a great little touch by Shand. Got underneath it a little bit so they didn't make the best of contact, but that took all the speed off the ball and really confused the St Andrews team. They weren't able to pick that ball up. Driscoll with a serve. Holton Moravchik with a great pass, and it goes back to her, but she gets stopped. Maluki finishes the block there. Sure, that's what Dundee want to see from Maluki. Hasn't done a lot in this match, but if she's able to do that now, Dundee are really going to look for a couple of points from her. Go back to Murat, but she's tips, but it's picked up by McKenzie. And then Maluki swings off the block for the kill. 2 big points in a row for Maluki. Like we said, one of the main players in this Dundee team has been extremely quiet this match. Now waking up in this 5th set. Timeout St Andrews. Only done by 3, but at this stage of the match, 3 points is very difficult to get past and to turn round. Interested to see what Coach Jack McKeown's saying to his team. Discussing with his team how they can get back into this set. Really stems from the first pass, nice stable pass. Really gives the team the options to be aggressive. Strong server, Sarah Driscoll at service line for Dundee. Had a few good runs so far this match. She'll want to continue this on. Dealt with by the libero Beckley. But McAndrews tries to roll that one, just a look not wide enough for her. She tries to roll that ball across court. Doesn't clear the net. Another good pass by Beckley. Back to McAndrews with a swing. That's stopped by the block. Clever attack by the middle, but that's picked up again by Dundee. Maluki with another kill. Maluki's woken up in this 5th set. And we're seeing a substitution here. German coming back in, who was playing well in the last couple of sets. But she was replaced to start with by Anderson, but she's now coming back in. Maybe an interesting choice by Coach McKeown to make that substitution start with. Well, that substitution as good as a timeout, with Driscoll serving that ball into the net there. McAndrews serving, which brings Holton Moravchik into the front row. St Andrews' strongest hitter so far today. Another good serve. Clawing this back. Driscoll. Great chase down by Clarkson. It's a free ball. Given away. What can St Andrews do? Great pick up by Mackenzie, who throws herself at that ball. Free ball given away. See this ball going to 4. Holton Moravchik goes cross. Maluki with a touch. Driscoll chases it down. Great commitment to get that ball. Goes out to get Holton Moravchik. High off the hands for the kill. Timeout taken by Dundee. Couple of good points there by St Andrews. Another tough serve. Dundee not able to control it as well as I like, but they've got the ball over. Holton Moravchik goes sharp cross, and that ball is wide. St Andrews needed that kill. Free ball given away. Great pass in by Driscoll, allows them to go back to Maluki. Great pick up by German. On the ball's high, but it's touched. Great chase down by Driscoll. Big scramble plays on the Dundee side. Oh, but that's a kill for St Andrews. Driscoll with the overpass. Holton Moravchik plays it back for her own team. Clarkson, a little bit tight. Not dealt with there by Dundee. And it's 11-12. Straight back into it. Driscoll with a nice pass there. Clarkson goes outside to Maluki. Cross-court swing for the kill. Nice cross-court angle. Holton Moravchik. She will not stop till this game is in St Andrews' hands. 1 point the difference between these two teams. Who's going to blink first? Shan, very nice pass, allowing Clarkson to set to Mackenzie. It's a great pick up by Beckley. Roll shot by Holton Moravchik. Goes outside to Mackenzie, off the block, and that's a kill. That block, the blockers took all the pace off that one. And that brings up match point for Dundee. And that's an ace to finish it. miscommunication there between the passers for the kill. And that is a win for Dundee. Goes all the way to 5-6. And they win it 3-2 to finish that match. What a great start to the day. Now we get ready for the presentation. Thank you for joining us today. We'll watch the presentation, we'll listen to the in-stadium announcer. Stay tuned in for the other games coming up today.